Jazzcast Pros.
Hold up, am I not supposed to record today? Am I not supposed to get this word out around faith and love and compassion and kindness and grace? We decided to go ahead and just record audio. So we have no video for today, right? But I think not having video for this particular episode is just so serendipitous, so on point, so preordained, like whatever words you want to use, right? Because what we see before us and what we hear is incongruent. So we say that we believe in children. We say that we believe in families. We say that we are loving and kind and compassionate, but our policies and practices and how we move and groove do not align with those things, do not align with those quote unquote beliefs. But that's also why I practice mindfulness and how I can be more present and aware of this moment right here, because this moment I have. I don't know about the next moment, but this moment right here, I have. And that ties into my decision to be baptized again. Pausing to be present in that moment, in my faith and in my beliefs, and rededicating myself to love, rededicating myself to compassion, rededicating myself to mercy, rededicating myself to grace, rededicating myself to my faith. And no matter who you are, no matter where you are, you can do that too in this moment. Hey, welcome to the Healthy Illness Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Marie. Healthy Illness Podcast is the podcast helping you to build healthier relationships while living with mental health conditions. I, Kelly Marie, live with mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, and some, we're not quite sure what it is yet, diagnoses, and that's okay because I use the tools and do the work to ensure I live the best mentally healthy life possible by doing what I'm doing right now, sharing with you about tools, about tips, about tricks, about all the hard work, about healing, about grieving, about forgiveness, about relationships with money, about friends and family, all of the ways in which we interact and engage with others and other things. And this podcast will help you have better relationships, regardless of who or what. I am your doula. I am your mental health and wellness coach. I am your friend out here just trying to live the best life that I can with the cards that have been dealt. Right? Big shout out to Jazzcast Pros Network and all of the podcast hosts. It is a pleasure and honor to be doing this work with you all. By the time we are finished today, you will know all about my reasons for being baptized this past Sunday and what that means to me to be Christian, living with mental health conditions in this current world scape, worldview, world situation, this crazy, but not surprising space that we're living in right now in the United States and in the world. I just want to say that I know and understand that everybody has their own faith walk. Some folks don't have a belief in a higher being. I'm okay with that. What helps you move through life and helps you align your purpose and your goals and your mission with your actions is how you move. I am Christian, and as a Christian person, do not condone or believe in how, um, and this is not a political podcast, so let me just say that right up front. But as a Christian, I do believe that we should be centered in love, that we should be centered in forgiveness, and we should be centered in grace. And so, with that, I made a decision this past weekend to be baptized again as an adult because I wanted to show my outward faith, my outward love of humanity, in addition to how I live my life. And so our podcast today won't be long, but I wanted to just take a moment and uplift those that are hurting, those that are grieving, those that do not know what is going to happen next, those that have had the earth removed from underneath them, those that have lived a life in this country, understanding and believing in their safety, believing that the I'll say the government is set up to help them and help others be their best selves, and are realizing that that is not necessarily the case. And so that is where many folks are finding themselves. We got folks being snatched up off the street. We have people afraid to go to work. We have folks that are legally here in this country and have done no wrong, but are being shipped off and shipped back. And everything that I believe we stand for, um, everything I believe we say we stand for, is just being thrown out the window. And why do I phrase it that way? Because personally, it's apparent to me that we as a country do not believe the things that we say we believe in. We say we believe in families, we say we believe in healthy children, but we have got children out here born in this country to parents born in this country that are starving, that don't have running water, that do not have educational system through which to learn and grow and thrive, that are not safe in their homes. We have parents that cannot afford to work but cannot afford to stay home. So we say that we believe in children, we say that we believe in families, we say that we are loving and kind and compassionate, but our policies and practices and how we move and groove do not align with those things, do not align with those quote unquote beliefs. And so here we are. Again, this podcast, this episode is not meant to be political. It is really just meant to help you better understand where I'm coming from as I move and groove in this life, as I show up as a Black person in this skin, in this body, living the best life that I can, understanding the situations in which we are all living. I find it interesting. I'll just share with you that even when I went to go record today, my laptop failed me. It does not turn on. I don't know why it has not turned on. The computer would not register originally wouldn't register the mic. So I did a restart. The mic started working and the camera's working. I go to adjust the camera because it was a little lopsided, and then the camera cuts off. I try and readjust it and, stop, start, stop, start. It kicks back on. It's definitely not in the right place, right angle. But it's back on and working. I go to readjust the camera shuts off. So at that point, I'm like, hold up. Am I not supposed to record today? Am I not supposed to get this word out, this message, this hopefully hopeful message around faith and love and compassion and kindness and grace? And I sent a couple text messages, to Jazz, and we were texting back and forth about what could be wrong. And I still don't know. But we decided to go ahead and just record audio. So we have no video for today, right? But here we are. And I think not having video for this particular episode is just so serendipitous, so on point, so preordained, like whatever words you want to use, right? Because what we see before us and what we hear is incongruent. And so as you hear my voice, I want you to just know and understand that this too shall pass. Regardless of our individual faith systems and belief systems, nothing lasts forever. There is no permanent thing that we have. People are born, people die, people, you have a job, you lose a job, relationships begin. You got to begin before you can end. Relationships begin and end, and there is no permanency in life. And that's okay. But that's also why I practice mindfulness and am focused on the present moment and how I can be more present and aware of this moment right here, because this moment I have. I don't know about the next moment, but this moment right here I have. And that ties into my decision to be baptized again. It was not a lengthy decision. I didn't like sit back and pray on it, and it was really, like a game time decision. Our church, Impacting Love Global Ministries, was holding baptismal service for some young people to me, some kids and some young adults that wanted to be baptized. And everyone, was all squared away and set and ready to go. And I was talking to my pastor, Apostle Garney Davis Jr., and we were just talking about, the baptism process and what I needed to do and the other elders in the church needed to do to be prepared for baptism the following week, which was this past Sunday. And I'm like, oh, I could be baptized again. Like, that's something I could do. I know faith wise it's not necessary. God sees my heart and understands my heart and heart posture. My faith, my salvation is not a thing that you can hold, and baptism does not confer salvation. It is again an outward expression. Expression. It is an outward expression of my faith and of my belief system. But in these times where people are claiming Christianity and are not practicing as such in my face, right? Like you're using the words, but I'm not seeing no love. I'm not seeing no compassion. I'm not seeing no kindness. I'm not seeing no forgiveness. I'm not seeing no grace, no mercy, no nothing, just hatred. And that is not of my faith. I do not believe in that. I do not condone that behavior. I do not condone that lifestyle of hate, and it quite frankly is not a Christian tenet, if you will. And so in my decision to be baptized, it was my way of conveying to my friends and family, to the world, anyone that listens to this particular podcast, who sees the post about the baptism, who is maybe, questioning their place in space in their relationship and walk with God and in Christ, and what that means to them, or another religion, another belief system. This message is for you. This episode is for you, because if we do not live a life of love and a life of the pursuit of understanding humanity and what it means to love, what it means to forgive, what it means to have an open heart, what it means to also protect that heart. Like, I'm not saying just going out there and be willy-nilly with, your emotions and be unprotected. I am also not saying that an oppressed people should accept oppression under the guise in false teaching of Christianity. Like that is not what this is either. But it is an opportunity for me to take a moment and say that you are not alone. It was a moment being baptized to show my brothers and sisters within our ministry that you can recommit, you can rededicate, you can take this moment right here, just this moment, and change your path. That no matter what you've done, no matter how you've lived, you can be forgiven. That we are all human and we are imperfect, and that is the nature of humanity. And so, for those folks that may be struggling and trying to reconcile their faith with what's happening in the world today, which, to be honest, is no different than what was happening in the world last year. Now it's just happening in your face. You can readjust. you can truly consider what you believe and who you believe in this moment, regardless of yesterday, regardless of earlier today, regardless of 20 minutes ago. You can take this moment and move in a different direction. You can take this moment and exercise love. You can take this moment and exercise compassion. You can take this moment and focus on empathy. You can take this moment and help someone. You can take this moment and be better. And so my decision to be baptized was about taking a moment, pausing to be present in that moment, in my faith and in my beliefs, and rededicating myself to love, rededicating myself to compassion, rededicating myself to mercy, rededicating myself to grace, rededicating myself to my faith. And no matter who you are, no matter where you are, you can do that too in this moment. If you are in a place where you need someone to talk to, if you are in a crisis, whether it's mental health, but like no matter where you are in this moment, if you need someone to talk to, you are not alone. You can dial 988 and you will be connected with someone who is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to talk, to hear you out, to help you through this moment because you are not alone. It is so important that we take a moment and just understand our connection, not just to our family and our friend groups, to our workplaces, but to all of humanity. I do not believe that my creator supports one country over another. You cannot follow the earthly leader and not follow the creator. They have to be in alignment. And if they're not in alignment, it is not our creator who is out of alignment. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I encourage you to take a moment and realign yourself to what you know to be good and true. Again, if you need someone to talk to, if you are in crisis, if you are thinking of hurting yourself, if you are in a place and you feel alone and desperate in these questionable times, please dial 988. Someone is there 24/7 to answer your call. Next week, I will be recording with Shannon Johns from Calming Nature Doula Services. Shannon is, and I say that we have been scheduling this recording for a little while now. We've been talking about this, right? And so just so long as no one goes into labor, we will return to our conversations around doula and doulaing and what that life is like with Shannon Johns and some other doulas in the Buffalo area. I do want to just celebrate a moment and celebrate with me, if you would. I have my Medicaid certification. I can accept Medicaid patients, which was the goal and purpose of becoming a doula anyways, is to help Medicaid moms and parents move through their childbearing journey. And that has gone through in the last couple days. So I'm really very excited to dive deeper into my doula work. And of course, you will be there every step of the way. So until the next time, hopefully the next time is with Shannon Johns from Calming Nature Doula Services. But if not, I will still be here and we will still have a conversation. Until then, I encourage you to be the light.